Hello my friends who are listening to Ebird Online, and it's time, once more, for a body language special for anyone with 2 eyes, or even 1, or even Helen Keller. That when Analie says, "I accept," to Clayton this week at their wedding, her words said yes, but her body very firmly said no. Guys, ain't no way Analie's in love with Clayton. You'll never get me to believe it, she's not even a very good actress. So yes, I'm going to analyse the body language of Analie at the wedding ceremony. And I really do feel it lays bare her true feelings. And we're also going to have a little chat about the role of Brandi within these nuptials. Yes, that's right, it's 90 Day Fiancé, Season 10, Episode 18. Just before we get into things, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit it, press it, smash it, caress it. Subscribe, my friends, subscribe. And if you enjoy the video, please hit the like button. It does work wonders for my analytics. Thanks guys. Right, so without further ado, I give you Analie and Clayton. So of course last week, we left Clayton standing at the altar with a strong insinuation that the 30 minutes late Analie was going to be a no-show.
You think of things that probably won't happen but could happen, and you think of the very worst. Well, this really can't get any worse than this.
Oh, Clayton, it really could. She could have got the stripper to walk her down the aisle. Or she could have put on 15 minutes worth of makeup and be 45 minutes late and rock up to the wedding with a face like a slapped arse. That, Clayton, as far as I'm concerned, would be way worse. Analie jilting you right now would be a result, Clayton, a result. But alas, as per usual, we discover it's a good old case of TLC 5, 4, 3, lights, camera, bullshit. Because whilst we're all wondering, where's Analie? We see her at home, looking as sombre as all hell, getting her hair and makeup done. And guess who the makeup artist is? Why, it's no other than Brandi's daughter. So, even if Clayton didn't know, at least Brandi knew that she was still attending the wedding because Brandi would have been able to call her daughter. Also, TLC knew as well because they were busy filming it. So anyway, they finished the hair and makeup, and by now Analie's, well, she's 30 minutes late. Guys, this took 30 minutes. Oh dear. I could have put that together myself in about 3 to 5 minutes. Anyway, I digress. She gets on her lonesome into an Uber and they speed down to the wedding venue. On the way in, she picks up Clayton's dad, who's generously agreed to walk her down the aisle. And in she sweeps. Clayton says, "There we go," as if he never doubted her turning up. Anyway, we do one of those little back in time things. And we see Analie talking to production, saying that she's bored of Clayton's jealousy, he has to learn to trust her. Really, Analie? Wait till next week, till the tell-all, and he sees your antics with the stripper in glorious Technicolor. Let's see if things get better or worse then. And then Analie says, amongst other things, "I've decided to get married because it's better to say I did it, rather than what would have happened if I didn't do it." Wait, what? That's completely ridiculous, Analie. You get married because you think you're going to have a lifelong union with the person you're marrying. You don't get married just so that you can say later on, "Oh well, I did it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, in for a penny, in for a pound." Oh my lord. That really isn't the attitude that I think accompanies a lifelong union. Guys, I give them about 3 to 6 months. And in the Uber on the way, she starts tearing up, and she tells us that she's assuming a risk to go on this adventure with Clayton. You are assuming a risk, but I think he's assuming a bigger risk, Analie. And next up, she meets Ron, Clayton's father, and they walk together down the aisle. Now let's undertake some analysis of Analie's body language. So if you notice from this bit of video here, she avoids looking at Clayton when she arrives at the top of the aisle for the longest time possible. So avoiding eye contact in body language can indicate many different things, including discomfort, lack of confidence, or even dishonesty. But overall it suggests a desire to withdraw or a lack of interest in engaging or interacting with the person with whom you're avoiding the eye contact. So I think we can look here at both discomfort and dishonesty. She may be uncomfortable with the situation, although she is quite a confident girl, so it's less likely than the dishonesty. And I think she knows she shouldn't be marrying Clayton, and that she's not in love with him. And that's what's leading to this absolute lack of eye contact. If you notice, she only looks at him when she's standing bang opposite him, and she has no other choice whatsoever. And then guys, right before the ceremony is going to start, we see Analie look to the floor. And this is quite a classic self-protective gesture. If you're looking at someone and they're looking down at the floor, it can be very challenging or virtually impossible to read their body language or mind. So she's basically averting his gaze so he can't look into her eyes and see what, well, many of us think her true intentions are that she's not that keen on getting married. But then guys, things are, well, they're set to get worse. As she's looking down, she gives a half nose wrinkle, half lip curl. Both of those in body language terms signal disgust, i.e. I don't like where I am, or I don't like what I'm doing or what I see. Either way you slice or dice it, she's not happy about something. And to be fair, you don't even really need to be able to interpret body language to see that this look is nothing good, it's nothing positive. And then right after this, she gives him kind of a wistful smile. It's a smile, if you look, doesn't come really truly from the eyes. But what's interesting about this smile, I think, is that it's quite short-lived, but it's also quite deliberate. And very often these kind of wistful smiles are known quite often as protective smiles and reassuring smiles. They're done to reassure others. But what's interesting about it is she knows she needs to reassure him. She knows she's wrong-footed him by being late and not answering his messages all day. But also the wistful smile can display a conflict of feelings. And if you see here, it's characterised by upturned lips into a classic closed-mouthed smile, and it's usually accompanied by a look of sadness in the eyes. So this picture here is the classic wistful smile. And so Clayton then tells Analie that she looks absolutely beautiful, and she looks down and to the right. She does it on several occasions, and this movement is a massive indicator of self-doubt, and it also very often signifies she wants to evade something. So it's a very evasive action. But then we have a tiny micro-expression from Analie, which again shows a certain level of disdain for what Clayton's saying. So Clayton says to her in Spanish, "You look absolutely beautiful." And just after he finishes saying it, you can see her raise her eyebrows, which very often signifies derision. It's almost like a mini eye roll.
Eres tan hermosa, más de lo que pensé.
And so you can clearly see her do this here, but to add to what I've said, she actually then says to production, "I see Clayton, and I see his little face full of love." And this, coupled with the eyebrow raise, is not really a signal of love. It seems like a signal of pity and that she's resigned to getting married to Clayton. But guys, it's this next bit that really made me want to study the body language for this video. I thought, wow, this does not bode well. When Clayton's saying his vows to Analie, she only looks at him for about 30% of the time. The rest of the time she's either looking down, looking to the left, looking to the right, and generally looking very disengaged. So let's analyse the video for both of their vows. Clayton first, and if you look halfway through, Analie gives this half smile, and in body language terms, this shows contempt.
I, Clayton, take you, Analie, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or worse, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part.
And if you watch again and again, she keeps on looking down. You can see she's trying to look at Clayton, but she's unable to fix her gaze on him. So then when it came to Alani's speech, she was looking down, although she may have been reading, so I'm not quite sure, you couldn't tell. But halfway through she looked directly at him and she started to sort of tear up and she looked a bit unhappy. And then when she finished her vow, she gave a big wide open smile, but again it was a smile from the mouth and not from the eyes. It was kind of a rictus smile, and in body language terms I think it's kind of a forced smile, which is distinguishable from a genuine smile because again the eyes are not activated, i.e. there's no crinkling around the eyes, and it could be said therefore to lack sincerity.
Prometo ser una esposa fiel y compartir. Estaré siempre a tu lado en cada paso del camino y seré tu esposa, tu amiga y compañera desde hoy hasta el fin de nuestros días. I love you.
And guys, I have to say, it was very unfortunate for me that she wasn't speaking in English because a lot of body language is backed up by actual language, what somebody says and also the way they say it. But it did seem to me towards the end of what she was saying that she kind of rushed it out. And usually when people rush their words out in such a way, it's because they don't really actually want to say it, or they don't mean the words they're saying. It's as if they're throwing away those sentences very quickly. But the strangest thing of all was what Analie said in response to the celebrant's question of her taking Clayton to be her lawfully wedded husband. Instead of saying I do or I will, she said I accept. And then she looked at Clayton, then she looked back at the celebrant, and then she grimaced and laughed. So as you might imagine, a grimace can mean a whole smorgasbord of different things. From nervousness or disgust, disapproval, fear. But she did have a slightly downturned mouth again, and the biggest indicator of this is sadness, disgust or disapproval. It is difficult to read, and it could be a mixture of all three of them, but what a grimace never ever is a positive, affirmative body language signal. Put simply, a grimace shouldn't pop up at your wedding.
Analie, will you now have this man to be your wedded husband, to live together in holy matrimony, so long as you both shall live?
Yes, exacto.
Now the phrase I accept could be lost in translation, and maybe from Spanish to English those words are interchangeable from I will or I do. So I can't read too much into that, but if there are any Spanish speakers, I'd love you to weigh in the comments below on what you think. I kind of think saying I accept is almost, I don't know, it's half-hearted, not I will, I do. That's a statement of intent. I accept, it's like something's being done to you. Like, well, I accept this situation I'm in. Not that, yes, I'm happy to go full force into this relationship. That's just the tease I got, but maybe I'm completely wrong on that, who knows. And as you guys know, all body language can be interpreted in different ways by different people. So none of this means that I'm correct. She's disingenuous. All of these things that I've said could also be nerves. But when we add everything together, her reluctance to even answer Clayton's text messages from earlier in the day, the fact she was over half an hour late, and then the micro expressions on her face as the vows were taking place, it just doesn't look good to me, it really doesn't. But then let's look at the final piece of body language from Analie during this wedding ceremony. And this is a quite unmistakable grimace after she kisses Clayton at the end of the vows.
Clayton, you may now kiss your bride.
And as you see quite clearly, she had downturned lips at the end of that kiss. And that usually signals sadness, displeasure, or both. So yeah, I don't think she wanted to get married at all. She was a little bit more chipper at the reception, especially when Clayton decided to dance, but I've pretty much seen all I need to see. Yes, you heard that right, Clayton decided to dance. He preceded the dancing by saying, I don't dance, you know me, I don't dance. Clayton, why are you freaking assaulting us all with this dance then? He put on a hat and he did some sort of, I don't know, Peruvian dance. And Analie looked as embarrassed as all hell, but I'm not going to call any of that into question because so was I, and I wasn't even there. And what else happened? Oh yeah, Brandi said this.
I'm so glad that a stripper didn't interfere with their relationship yet.
Okay, you guys all know it because you said it in the comments, but Brandi's intention with that stripper was not honourable. She knew it was going to put a cat amongst the pigeons, and I think she hoped that this whole wedding wasn't even going to happen. She says, yeah, I'm Analie's loco sister, and she gives her nice little hugs and stuff, but deep down, well not even deep down, on the surface, you can really see she doesn't like her. When she first met her, remember she went absolutely in on her, and I think she thought twice about how she was going to navigate this. And I guess the best way to knife somebody in the back is to befriend them and to be standing right next to them. Anyway guys, that's where we leave things for this week. I hope you enjoyed this body language special. And if you enjoyed the content and would like more body language specials, please let me know in comments down below. And I'm going to get on with my next video. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you soon. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.